Well, good evening. Welcome to Integrated Preparedness. How are you all tonight? It is Sunday evening, January 19th, 2025, the day before the inauguration of President Trump. And a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen with that. And I want to talk a little bit about potentials. Okay. Before we get to that, a couple of quick announcements. I had somebody ask yesterday, sent me an email, one of my readers. And asked, is there gonna be a number 8 in the Stonemont series? She says she's reading 7 slowly and wanted to make it last if there wasn't going to be an 8th one. And for those of you who don't know what the heck I'm talking about, it's the Stonemont series. I'm the author of the Stonemont series, the reversion, the revival, the renewal, and appeal to heaven, the blessings of freedom, hostages to fortune, and the latest one on Wings Like Eagles. It's a great series about preparedness, about survival, about rebuilding after a total collapse of everything. And I'm glad that she asked that question because, yes, I'm in the middle of writing number 8. I hope to have it out this summer. Our members over on the Patreon channel already know the title and have seen the cover, and it is cool. And I think, because people have asked me this, I think that there are going to be 10, ending up being 10 books in the series. I think it's going to take me that long to bring everything together and bring it at least to a spot that if I want to continue it with a second series, I'll be able to. And if not, it'll be a good stopping point. So, yeah, I'm working on 8, and there'll probably be 2 after that. The other announcement is the Integrative Preparedness Stonemont annual gathering will be this year, October 4th. And more information will come. I'll put all the information over on the Patreon channel. And I suggest if you want to, it was a good time last year. I didn't get a chance to talk to everybody as much as I wanted to. And to be honest, I didn't know what to expect, but it was a nice time. And it made me look forward to having them every year. So we're going to have them every year. But this year is going to be October the 4th to give everybody a chance, have plenty of planning time. It's going to be in the Kansas City area. Plenty of time to plan. Because there were a lot of people last year that said, I wanted to come, but I had already made plans for family vacations and things like whatever. And I certainly understand that. And it was my fault for not planning it far enough ahead. So October the 4th, now you got plenty of time to plan, right? Okay, what's going to happen tomorrow? Violence, attacks. And then after that, I'll tell you right off that in my opinion, we're entering what is very possibly going to be the most interesting 4 years in at least recent history in our country. There are already, and a lot of people, I know that people have different ideas of what's going on and what's going to happen. There are those who feel that Donald Trump coming in, he's going to be able to change everything, or he's going to try anyway. He's going to do his best to change many things that need to be fixed in our country, and that he has the ability to do so. There are others who claim that they think, they don't claim because they don't know. You can't, who feel that he is simply the other wing on the same bird. He's all part of the same, all part of the plan, everything like that, and nothing's going to change at all. I'll tell you right off that I'm in the first camp. I've known about, I've read about, I've known about Donald Trump for a long time, since his first book came out and even before that. So I don't know the man, but I know of the man and I know about the man. And I believe that he's coming into this. He's gone through all this because of his love for his country, for our country. And he finally saw the political problems going on. And boy, he has learned about that over the last 4 years, hasn't he? So I expect that he's going to be able I expect that he wants to change things. And I think he's going to be able to change a lot of things, because I'll tell you what, there are a lot of people who don't realize this, but he is a brilliant man. He is brilliant. And he is so much smarter than most people realize. It's scary. So anyway, what's going to happen? That was my political opinion there. You're free to have a different opinion. Just don't be snotty about it. I was just watching, by the way. I'll give you a little bit of a side note here. I clicked on a new series on Netflix. I don't watch much TV or movies, but I clicked on something. What is it? American Primeval, something like. I think that's what it's called. It's. I've only watched 20, 30 minutes of it or something like that. And it starts off with a woman and her son going out west. They go from St. Joe, Missouri. They've come from back east, Pennsylvania or someplace. And they finally arrive out at Fort Bridger, and they run into Jim Bridger. And it shows what a horrible, horrible life is out there. How violent, how, I really kind of like what things would be like if all of this collapsed. And many people out here, 90% of the people watching this wouldn't be able to survive. And the young boy, after Bridger kind of sets the mother straight about the reality of things, the boy's kind of, you can tell he's enamored with everything, right? And with Bridger. And he looks at Bridger and he says, "Is this a fort?" And Bridger says, "Yeah." And the kid says, "How do you get a fort?" And Bridger looks at him and says, "You build it." And that's what a lot of people don't realize. They think that things just come easy and you get something. No, whatever it is you want, you build it. And it takes work, and it takes stick-to-itiveness, and it takes knowing what you're about, knowing what you want, and keep on going until you get there. So when we wonder about what's going to happen tomorrow and the potential of attacks and violence, and then what comes after that, I'll say right now, I do not expect any great attack from a foreign adversary. The basic reason being, is this a prime moment? Yeah, it is. Depending on what you want to do, they've moved the inauguration inside. Whether that was really because of the cold or whether it was for security reasons, who knows? They're not going to say, and we're not going to know, and everybody's going to have an opinion about it. The same reason they're moving what would be the parade into a some arena up there. And I don't know how you have a parade in an arena, but they're replacing the parade with an event, right? And whether that's because of the cold or for security reasons, I don't know, you don't know, we don't know, nobody knows. Everybody's going to have an opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if some of those opinions are going to leak into the comments here, and if they're not too stupid, I'll leave them, but if they're too stupid, I'll get rid of them. But I don't think that there's going to be a large attack on it from a foreign adversary, simply because I think what they plan for are a lot of smaller attacks, like I've talked about before, and they can cripple the United States with smaller attacks, depending on how they do it. But a large attack would just result in the coming together of a majority of Americans against whoever was determined to be responsible for it, and they don't want that. They don't want that. They don't. We might. Our military-industrial complex wants it. Okay, which brings us to the question of false flag. Okay. Are there plans to arrange some kind of attack to get us all riled up against whoever they want us riled up against? I think that's a possibility. We also see that so many of the liberal groups, the far left groups, are already that's my dog. Are already massed in Washington, D.C. They're going to protest, and they're going to be cold. Left-wing protesters don't do very well when it gets too cold. But they're out there, and a lot of them are getting paid. So they're going to be out there, and they're going to start, they're going to try to start something. And probably one of the things that they are charged with doing is drawing the right wing out to attack them, because they know that the next 4 years or however long under Trump, he's going at him. He's going to dismantle so much of the crap that's been built, and it's been a house of crap that's been built by the Democrats over the last 4 years, and they know that the only way to stop what he's gonna do is to make the citizens of America, the American people, fall away from supporting him. And by arranging something that would bring about a reaction from the right wing, it would give them, again, the ammunition, the fuel they need to build up the hatred, accusations that they're always talking about. The most dangerous people in the world. The greatest danger in the United States is white supremacy and white supremacists and the white male and all. Even though none of the stuff for the most part is being done. I mean, do you know any white supremacists? I don't. Okay, I've known a few, but that's been like 40 years ago. And they need this. They need this to draw to drive that wedge back into American society. So they're going to get riled up to the extent to which they're going to become violent. I don't know, but if they do, I think it's going to be in an attempt to draw a response from the right wing, and we will just see what happens. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say what anybody should do. Sometimes it's one of those things you got to rip off the Band-Aid, right? Whatever. I hope it doesn't happen, but I think that everybody should be aware that it's a possibility. And I think the biggest danger out of this is whether it's tomorrow or in the near future, as Trump makes all the changes and tries to start getting the deep state out. I heard somebody say the other day that there's no such thing as the deep state. And that's probably just a matter of definition. It doesn't matter whether you call it the deep state, the bureaucracy, the bureaucrats in charge. It doesn't matter. Those are the people that are so ingrained in our government. Unelected bureaucrats, unelected assets, who really think that they run things, and they don't want to be rooted out, and they're going to put up a fight, and we will see what happens. So as far as tomorrow, I think that there is a chance that there's going to be violence. I think that there's going to. I think that there is a small chance, little to nothing, of an actual attack. But if there is, I would give it over 50% chance that it is a false flag. That's just my opinion. Tomorrow starts a new chapter, doesn't it? And it's going to be interesting to see. It's a day that a lot of us have waited for. I saw another channel saying something to the effect of, well, maybe he's better, maybe he's not, but at least with Kamala. This was a preparedness channel. At least with Kamala, we would have known what we were getting. What in the world kind of thought process is that for someone who's involved in preparedness and maintains, that they have a desire for self-reliance and such as that. I just don't understand it. But I'll tell you what it does. It brings out the fact that there is a broad range of ideas in the preparedness world. And I think that the next few years, well, it's already brought out a lot of differing opinions, but the next few years is going to show us a lot. It's going to show us a lot about what's happening in our country, what's going to happen in our country. It's going to kind of sift out those who are serious and those who are just talking. And I'm wanting to do another one. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, but maybe I'll do it another time. Of the ones who are just whining and complaining, and the ones who, like the Jim Bridger character said to that young boy in that American, whatever it is, he says, if you want something, you build it. You see, you don't complain that it's not there. You build it. And that takes work. And that takes determination. And that takes it can take some suffering. It can take some setbacks. It like I said before, it takes what my mother called stick-to-itiveness. That once you decide what you need to do, want to do, what needs to be done, you get started and you don't stop until it's done. And that's what we see in front of us right now. A time we're going to see whether or not we can turn this thing around and actually get done what needs to be done. But I think along the road there's going to be some bumps. And we just have to be ready for them. So get ready for them. Make sure that you are prepared in all ways, because you don't know what can happen and you don't know what effect it could have on you. As long as you're able to sustain yourself separate from the system, you're going to be fine. And do what you can to do what you know is right. Okay? All right. Well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. It's going to be an interesting one. Trump's out there tonight. He is out there holding a rally tonight somewhere. I didn't check in. But tonight, the night before he's going to be inaugurated, this guy has like energy like I have never seen before in anybody out there like that. So I wish him luck. I hope that God blesses him in doing what the Lord wants him to do, and that God watches over you and directs you in what he wants you to do. And get ready for some interesting times, because I think they're coming. So remember that, by the way, I didn't say this. If you want to buy the Stonemont series, you can get them on Amazon. The link is down below, or you can get them directly from me, and that link's down below too. You get them through our website. It takes you a little bit longer to get them from me, but you get them signed. So think about that, and remember, the gathering next year is going to be October 4th. Look forward to everybody coming. It's going to be a great time, and we'll see what happens tomorrow, and I'll get back and talk to you probably later tomorrow. Okay, remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow. We want to live well tomorrow, but you're not going to if you don't prepare today. Have a good night. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.